Welcome back. Naturalist John Muir once said, "Between every two pines is a doorway to a new world." Trees are doorways to new worlds and to new places inside of us. Trees on the hillsides are whispering green. Right on the left here, a little ways in, is our vernal pool. It can hear the whispers. Trees are holding secrets of all kinds. Trees are beginning their lives just as all creatures and plants do, small and strong. They live as long as they can on their own and among us, holding birdhouses and sheltering us, giving us places to climb. Hello, kindergarten and first grade wild riders of Mamaroneck. It's a windy day here. I'm sitting next to a box elder we've loved for a long time because right over my head you can see there's a very big branch. It's missing its bark now, but my children used to climb up there and sit. You saw Pickles actually sitting right near this tree the other week in one of my photographs. So we are still talking about trees. I did go back into my nature journal I wanted to show you, and I added a little bit of color to my blind contour drawing. If you remember, we talked about how a blind contour drawing is a drawing where you look at the object, but not at your page, and allow your eyes to trace the shapes of whatever it is you're looking at. I went back in, I added color to the parts of my spruce. I have the needles hanging down, this inside bit of a cone, the bark puzzle pieces, the cone itself. And then I added here to my I Notice and I Wonder page with our traditional colors of noticing and wondering, and a little bit more color to this blind contour drawing of a tree as well. Then, remember, I wrote a letter to the Norway spruce, and guess what? Norway spruce wrote back to me. So instead of just writing it right in my nature journal, I decided to do something a little bit fun, and I glued an envelope into my nature journal, and it says Forest Mail. And if you recall, I showed you some of the rubber stamps I've carved. Here's one of them with some coniferous trees, or trees that make cones. And there's a letter in here. Let me read it to you. But first, let me remind you of what the letter said that I wrote to Norway spruce, the tree I had adopted. Dear Norway spruce, when I look at you, I see your branches sweeping the sky. Your needles are hanging down. Your needles are like my fingers, but I only have 10 fingers, and you must have thousands of needles. Can you feel the rain and wind on all of your needles? Are you sad when your pine cones fall off? Your friend, Amy. And then there's a letter in here. Here it is. This is colored pencil, by the way, and this is watercolor paint. So if you have just a little set of watercolor paints, you can add color to any of your pages. Just if you use pen, don't go close to the pen because it will make a little bit of a mess. But look, a letter back. Again with the stamp. May 6th, 2020. Dear Amy, thank you for your letter. I like how you compare my needles to your fingers. That was funny. When it is windy and rainy, I can feel it on my needles, and I even feel wind and rain on my trunk and my pine cones. I'm not sad when my pine cones fall off, because they are filled with seeds that will make more big Norway spruces. When it is windy, I say goodbye to the cones, and I feel proud of myself for making new almost trees. Have you ever planted a tree or helped someone plant a tree? That is a great thing to do. Hug a spruce, your friend, Sprucey. And you can see right here, it tucks right back into the envelope. So what I have is, on 2 pages, the page of my writing to Spruce, which I added some color to, and this little envelope of Spruce writing back to me. And that gave me an idea that I could add another envelope on another page if I wanted to, even in the inside back cover of my nature journal, a bigger envelope where I could tuck flat things like leaves once they're nice and dry, and then I could have a leaf collection, not just glued to the pages, but tucked right inside this envelope. So I did add a list of some trees that I see in my yard: sugar maple, dogwood, beech, birch, and redbud. These are deciduous trees, or trees with flat leaves, not little needles. And then I named a few coniferous trees: Norway spruce, balsam, white pine, red pine. These are trees with pine cones and needles that I see right here near where I live. So I will share with you, you'll see a slide that has a website you can visit to see some of the most common trees near where you live, and that will be from Sawmill River Audubon. We visited them last week when we learned about birds, and I encourage you to go outside and get to know some trees, look at their bark, maybe put a paper over the bark and crayon and without the paper, and make a rubbing of the bark. Take photos of the bark, watch the leaves as they grow. Here's the box elder. I pulled these off so you can see. Look at the leaves. See the flowers? See the flowers are getting a little old there? But trees have many parts, and we can examine them and study them and really get to know these creatures, these living plants that are so big and so mighty, and that give us lots of good memories too. So happy Tree Week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Pons. If you were wondering what I had around my neck, yes, a stethoscope. Did you know you can listen to the sap inside of trees with a stethoscope? I'm closing my eyes because it's easier to hear that way. Trees keep us warm with firewood. They feed us with all types of fruits and nuts. Apples we can eat plain, in pies, or in fresh pressed cider. Much of our furniture is made from the wood of trees. Trees offer so much to so many. This oak is now holding a swarm of bees before they find a new place to live. Here is our son Henry reading The Hidden Life of Trees in the old box elder. May you find a great tree friend too. Learn about 10 of the most common Westchester trees: sugar maple, red maple, American beech, northern red oak, white oak, sassafras, American sycamore, tulip tree, shagbark hickory, and white pine, here at Sawmill River Audubon. May your nature journals be good companions. Write wild, Mamaroneck friends.